Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Abraham gave birth to you, Muslim, Christian, and Hebrew. What caused the family to feud? Satan was at the root. 4 and 3 make 7. Also 5 and 2. One great universal truth, but many different point of view.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Unity or something start with you and I. Let's work it out together, you and I. Cause love is a thing you can't beg, neither borrow. No deficit, there will be more tomorrow. Take a big man to put difference aside. What a calamity when the difference collide. Every man self-righteous, don't be so shallow. Every man trust in the path that they follow.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
Abraham turning in his grave, seeing how the children behave, fighting and killing each other, denying the connection as brother, all waiting for the Messiah to pull the family together. But what will he require to keep them out of the judgment fire? We must unite in truth and do justice, practice righteousness. Then God's kingdom will come, and this wicked world will be done. We must unite the tribes in Ghana, Guinea, Mali, Nigeria, and Nkrumah's vision lights the world over, from Cape to Cairo, one Africa.
Too much division make a good thing spoil. Families are lost over land and isle. Then the want for revenge starts casting a shadow. Some try to forgive, but it's a hard pill to swallow. Love sin a go on the sacred style. Please say a prayer for the woman and child, and unite today so they can still have tomorrow. When fate separates us, it leads on to sorrow.
Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody singing this melody. Let us unite, let us unite. That's the only way we all can be free. Let us unite, let us unite. Everybody joining this sweet refrain. Let us unite, let us unite. Nothing to lose with so much to gain.
All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many. And the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more? Why don't you stand up? God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace, under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mike Dalco, the CEO, continuously empowering others, and I want to talk to you a little bit, real quick, about this topic. It's entitled "The Launch." I did a video probably 3, 4 years ago. It was to avoid sounding narcissistic. It was one of my favorite videos of all time that I've ever done. You've ever had those moments where something is on your mind and you want to articulate it, but when you finally end up saying it, it doesn't come out quite right. Well, this was not one of those times. That particular morning, I remember waking up and having this thought in my mind, and about the three parts of your business, three basic stages of your business: the launch, the leader, the legend. And it came out of me exactly as I felt it inside of me. So I didn't have one of those unfulfilled conversations where I say it and I say, oh man, I wish I would have said this or that. I literally said exactly what was on my heart, and it actually came out better than I felt it in my heart. The launch, the leader, the legend. Well, in this transitional period, we're in a launch phase. And I saw something last night on our get together, our team huddle, that concerned me a little bit. And so I want to just talk to you guys about that thing so that maybe one or two of you, or three or four of you, can be shifted mentally and aligned so that this launch will have its full manifestation as you build your business this time. You got an opportunity for a redo. You got a reset. You got a do-over. Okay? So listen to this carefully, and I'll try to get in and out of this conversation. So last night when we were having our huddle, I asked a question, and I said, how many of you guys have, how many people do you have on your waiting list to see the preview of the new information that we're going to be rolling out in the next couple of weeks here? And I saw something that to me was distressing. I saw numbers like 3, 2, 8, 12. And I got to tell you, that's not launching. That's starting. When you have 2 to 3 weeks head start, and all you're doing is saying to people, something amazing is coming, and I'm going to be sharing a preview. Do you want to be on my waiting list to be among the first people in the world to see it? Yes or no? Most people are going to say yes to that. So if you've got 2 weeks and you've only got 8 people on your list, that means you talk to one, you got one positive response every 2 or 3 days. And that's not going to launch. That's going to start. You're going to build a little momentum, but you're just going to kind of take off. You're not going to launch. And I don't want to see that for you. Okay? As a person who has experienced a successful launch in a business, I know the momentum that it creates. I know the euphoria and the feeling that it creates and the stories that you create from a real launch. And 8 people, 10 people, 12 people on your list after 2 weeks. It's not going to create those stories. You're going to make monies in drips and drabs. You're going to stay in here because you're satisfied that you're at least making some money. but you're not going to see that historic, legendary kind of story that comes from a real launch. Christopher Chavez says, I have a quick 100. That's the kind of numbers you're going to need to see to have a real launch. Because what happens when you get 100 people on your waiting list, Christopher, about 50 or 60 of them are going to take immediate action. Even though you've got 100 on the list, 40 to 50% of those excited dreamers are going to take immediate action. The other ones are going to drag in. Some are not going to ever do anything. So I don't want you thinking that because you have 100 on your list, that 100 are going to launch with you. They're not. No matter how good it is, and this thing is amazing. No matter how good it is, some people, they got things going on in their lives. They're not really listening, and they're not going to move fast. They're just not. So the closer to 300 you've got, the better off you are. The closer to 1,000, the better off you are. You say, well, Mike, how do you come up with 1,000 people? You talk to more people faster. So type this in the chat room. Say less to more people faster. Less, more, faster. Say less to more people faster. Hey, do you look for ways to make more money? Do you want to be on my waiting list? Yes? No? Great. Hey, do you look for ways to make more money? Do you want to be on my waiting list? Yes? No? Next. Hey, something big is coming. I want you to be one of the first to tell me that I tell you about it. Do you want me to put you on my list? That's a great one right there. Hey, I'm getting my hands on some really extraordinary information. Do you want me to put you on my preview list to be one of the first people in the world that I tell about it? No? Great. Say less to more people faster. Don't sit there and try to overwhelm yourself trying to explain everything that you've seen in these briefings that we've had. That's not how you do it. We need more people on the list, guys. Okay? And then lastly, not only do you need more people on your list, you need to teach the people on your list to build a list and teach their people to build a list. Try to build 3 levels deep. Build your list, teach your people on your list to build their list, and teach them to teach their people to build their list. You're not going to be able to go further than 3 levels. You're just not. I know you think you can. You can't. You won't have enough time. We're only a couple of 3 weeks or so away from this pre-launch. You're not going to have enough time. You're going to run out of time before you run out of people. That's good right there. Type that in the chat room. You will run out of time before you run out of people. When Monisha and I launched our first business, we still haven't talked to all the people. We put all those people on the list. I'll have to try to reach out to them for this new run. That was a 7-year run, and we still didn't get to talk to everybody because we run out of time. That thing will launch on you, and you'll be so busy going from launch to leader, and you're helping all the people that are launching until you won't even have time to circle back and help the people that were on your list before. It's a devastating thing for people to tell you no in your launch phase. I know a lot of folks say overcome objections. You can do this however you want. But in my launch phase, I don't overcome any objections. In my launch phase, your objection tells me that you can't launch with me because in the launch phase, I don't have time for objections. I only have time for dreamers. And if you search for the dreamers, those people who don't give you objections, those people who are ready to run before you. Talking to a young man last night, love this brother. He said, man, put me on your list and call me first. I'm ready to go, and I got X amount of people ready to go right now. That's who you're looking for. You're not looking for the person that says, well, send me the preview once you get the actual official document. That's not who you're looking for in the launch. It's not. Again, the beautiful thing about networking is there are no bosses, so I'm not the boss. I'm just giving you my extraordinary experience last time. Look for the dreamers, put them on your list, Teach them to build a list of dreamers, put them on their list. Teach them to teach their people to build a list of dreamers, put them on their list, and try to duplicate that process to infinity. And ladies and gentlemen, you'll launch, then you'll lead the people who are launching, and then you'll teach the people who are launching to become leaders, and you'll become a legend. This is Mike Dalco, the CEO, continuously empowering others. It's launch time. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you on the Power Call.
Oprah Winfrey went from being born into poverty in rural Mississippi to a teenage single mother to becoming the most influential woman in the world. She was the richest African American of the 20th century and North America's first Black multi-billionaire. She's currently worth $3 billion and takes a salary of $75 million per year. Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. I believe in you, and this channel is designed to be a part of your daily success routine. So let's get your motivation to a 10 and have you believing in you. Here's my take on Oprah Winfrey's top 50 rules for success. Also, if you want to know what Oprah Winfrey and other successful entrepreneurs have to say about building unstoppable confidence, check out my 254 Confidence series, where every day for the next 254 days, I will send you a morning video for free to help you build your confidence. The link to join is in the description below.
Key to success is what you believe is true for yourself. Your number one job is to become more of yourself. Figure out where your power base is.
Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Understand the right next move.
The way through the challenge is to get still and ask yourself, what is the next right move? Not think about, oh, I got all of this stuff. What is the next right move? And then from that space, make the next right move and the next right move. And not to be overwhelmed by it, because you know your life is bigger than that one moment. You know you're not defined by what somebody says is a failure for you, because failure is just there to point you in a different direction.
Rule number 2, seize your opportunity.
Nothing about my life is lucky. Nothing. A lot of grace, a lot of blessings, a lot of divine order, but I don't believe in luck. For me, luck is preparation meeting the moment of opportunity. There is no luck without you being prepared to handle that moment of opportunity. And so what I would say for myself is that because of my hand in a hand and a force greater than my own, I have been prepared in ways that I didn't even know I was being prepared for. And the truth is, for me and for every person, every single thing that has ever happened in your life is preparing you for the moment that is to come.
Rule number 3, everyone makes mistakes.
You don't have to hold yourself hostage to who you used to be or anything you ever used to do. Because who has lived and hasn't made mistakes? When I think about my 20s and what a foolish girl I was, and how I would give over my power to men who really didn't mean me well, but now I hold no grudges against them either, because I realized I'm the one who gave over the power because I didn't know any better. And now that I know better, I know I don't have to do that again. It's one of the most powerful lessons any of us can ever know.
Rule number 4, work on yourself.
I say to my girls all of the time that your real work is to figure out where your power base is and to work on the alignment of your personality, your gifts that you have to give with the real reason why you're here. That's the number one thing you have to do, is to work on yourself and to fill yourself up and keep your cup full. Keep yourself full. Now, I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid, particularly from people who say, oh, she's so full of herself. She's so full of herself. And now I embrace it. I consider it a compliment that I am full of myself, because you only when you're full, I'm overflowing. My cup runneth over. I have so much to offer and so much to give. And I am not afraid of honoring myself. You know, it's miraculous when you think about it.
Rule number 5, run the race as hard as you can.
I would say to my team, well, it doesn't matter, because every season somebody else was coming out. 1 talk show, 2 talk shows, 3 talk shows. There have been over 100 talk shows since we started. But every time I would feel like, all right, got to step up our game. The way you step up your game is not to worry about the other guy in any situation, because you can't control the other guy. You cannot control the other guy. You only have control over yourself. So it's like running a race. The energy that it takes to look back and see where the other guys are takes energy away from you. And if they're too close, it scares you. So that's what I would say to my team all the time. Don't waste your time in the race looking back to see where the other guy is or what the other guy is doing. It's not about the other guy. It's about what can you do. You just need to run that race as hard as you can. You need to give it everything you've got all the time for yourself.
Rule number 6, believe.
My grandmother was a maid. That's all she ever knew. The only real expectation she held for me was that I would one day become a maid and, in her words, have some good white folks, meaning people who would not speak negatively about me, who would allow me to take food home, who would be good to me, would treat me with some level of dignity and respect. That was my grandmother's dream for me. But I had another dream for myself, more than a dream. I had a belief for myself. And I remember watching her hang out clothes on a line one day and say to me, you have to watch me, Oprah Gail, because one day you'll have to do this for yourself. And knowing inside myself that that was not going to be my life. Don't know how I knew it, other than that thing that we all have, intuition or an instinct that said, no, this will not be my life. But because I sensed that and was connected to that, and I remember it was a very still moment. It was quiet, and I was still, and I was watching her. I could see her right now with the clothespins in her mouth and putting them on the line and seeing the breath, because it was cold, the moisture coming from her lips. And I knew that that would not be my life. I knew that I will not be hanging clothes on a line in a backyard in Mississippi. So I was either 4 or 5 years old. And that belief that that would not be my life is what I held on to for the longest of times. I just, no matter what, believed that there was something bigger, greater, more for me.
Rule number 7, we are all seeking the same thing.
I always understood that there really was no difference between me and the audience. At times, I might have had better shoes, but at the core, of what really matters, that we are the same. And you know how I know that? Because all of us are seeking the same thing. You're here at this fabulous school, and we'll go out into the world and each pursue based upon what you believe your talents are, what your skills are, maybe your gifts are, but you're seeking the same thing. Everybody wants to fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself as a human being. That's what you're looking for. The highest, truest expression of yourself as a human being. And because I understand that if you're working in a bakery and that's where you want to be, and that may be what you've always wanted to do, is to bake pies for people or bake cakes for people or to offer your gift, then then that's for you. And there's no difference between you and me, except that's your platform. That's your show every day. So my understanding of that has allowed me to,
Reach everyone.
to reach everyone. And there's no way that you wouldn't, because that's what I truly feel.
Rule number 8, find your purpose.
A lot of people don't know their purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, your immediate goal is to figure that out, because otherwise you're just wandering around here. So the moment you can figure out what it is you're supposed to be doing, the sooner you are able to get about the business of doing that.
Rule number 9, stay grounded.
My life is fueled by my being, and the being fuels the doing. So I come from a centered place. I come from a focused place. I come from compassion. It's just my nature. I come from a willingness to understand and to be understood.
Right.
And I come from wanting to connect. I mean, the secret of that show for 25 years is that people could see themselves in me. All over the world, they could see themselves in me. And even as I became more and more financially successful, which was a big surprise to me, I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting.
You mean you got more than that 30,000?
I got more than 30,000 by the time I was 30. But what I realized is through the whole process, because I'm grounded in my own self, that although I could have more shoes, my feet stayed on the ground, although I was wearing better shoes. These are kind of cute today too. So I could keep my feet on the ground, even though I could get more shoes. And I could understand that it really was because I was grounded. I've done was doing and continue to this day to do the consciousness work. I work at staying awake.
Rule number 10, relax. It's going to be okay.
Dear beautiful brown-skinned girl, and I use the word beautiful because I know that's never a word you would call yourself. I look into your eyes and I see the light and hope of myself. In this photo, you're just about to turn 20, posing outside the television station where you were recently hired as a reporter. You look calm. You look happy. But I know how scared you are. If I could say anything to you, it would be relax. It's going to be okay, girl.
Rule number 11, be authentic.
I think that success is a process. And I believe that my first Easter speech in the Kosciuszko Baptist Church at the age of 3.5 was the beginning. And that every other speech, every other book I read, every other time I spoke in public was a building block. So that by the time I first sat down to audition in front of a television camera and somebody says, read this, what allowed me to read it so comfortably and be so at ease with myself at that time was the fact that I'd been doing it a while. If I'd never read a book or I'd never spoken in public before, I would have been traumatized by it. So the fact that we went on the air with the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1986 nationally, and people say, oh, but you're so comfortable in front of the camera, you can be yourself. Well, it's because I've been being myself since I was 19. And I would not have been able to be as comfortable with myself had I not made mistakes on the air and been allowed to make mistakes on the air and understand that it doesn't matter. You know, there's no such thing to me as an embarrassing moment. No such thing. If I tripped and fell, if my bra strap showed, if my slip fell off, if I fell flat on my face, there's no such thing as an embarrassing moment because I know that there is not a moment that I could possibly experience on the air that somebody else hasn't already experienced. So when it happens, you say, oh, my slip fell off. And it's no big deal. I mean, like I was on TV the other day and somebody says, oh, Oprah, you have a run. Have you not seen a run before in your life? Well, I get them too, let me tell you. So, I mean, I can't be embarrassed. I can't be embarrassed. Now, when I first started out, that was not true. because I was pretending to be somebody I was not. I was pretending to be Barbara Walters. So I'd go to a news conference, and I was more interested in how I phrased the question and how eloquent the question sounded, as opposed to listening to the answer. Which always happens when you're interested in impressing people instead of doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it took me a while. It took me messing up on the air during a live newscast. I was doing a list of foreign countries, and there was all these foreign names, and then Canada was thrown in, and I called Canada, Canada. And I got so tickled that I called Canada. I go, that wasn't Canada, that was Canada. Excuse me, that wasn't Canada, that wasn't Canada, that was Canada. And then I started laughing. Well, it became the first real moment I ever had. And the news director later said to me, well, if you do that, then you should just keep going. You shouldn't correct yourself and let people know. Well, I know, well, who's ever heard of Canada? So that was, for me, the beginning of realizing that, oh, you can laugh at yourself and you can make a mistake, and it's not the end of the world. You don't have to be perfect. And biggest lesson for me for television, because then it didn't matter. Didn't matter. Oh, sorry, bra strap showing.
Rule number 12, do it all.
What inspired me was, continues to be, what continues to inspire me, is a primal and fundamental desire to fulfill the highest expression of myself as a human being. I don't want to die not having completely burn out every single possibility of my humanity. I just want to, when I leave this planet, I want everybody to say, did that, used it all up, not another thing I could do. There wasn't another person I could have given of myself to. There wasn't another deed I could have done. There wasn't anything that you want to say, I want to fill it up. You want to take this whole human existence, which when you think about it, Godfrey, is really pretty damn miraculous.
It is.
It is.
It is.
When you think about what it means to be a human being on the planet Earth right now, that's pretty awesome. So I just want to take that to the max. I want to say, no need to come back as a human. Angel status.
Rule number 13, love more.
I know you hate this phrase, but what is your brand, do you think?
I'm the love brand.
Aren't we all, darling?
No, I'm the love
Aren't
brand.
we all?
I'm the love brand.
You like to shower love around?
Yeah, that's what it is. I am the love and connection brand. That's what I am.
You're a bit like Barry White was the love god. You're the love brand.
I'm the love brand. Because ultimately, everything that I'm saying, whether it's in my magazine, whether it's Gail on the radio, whether it's the Oprah Winfrey Show, and now everything about the channel OWN, it's about opening your space, your heart space, so that you can love more. You know, that's really all money is for. Money is worth nothing if it can't buy you the opportunity to love more.
Rule number 14, always give your best.
You can't call in sick. You can't ever give less than 100%. And if you are sick, which I have been a couple of times, that's when you got to pull up to 110, 120, because people have come from all over the country and this is their moment. They've saved their money. They bought the airline tickets. They got new outfits. They call their sisters, their cousins, their aunts, their mother-in-laws, their mothers. And that is why they're there, to see you. So I feel a sense of responsibility, a sense of obligation, a sense of respect, reverence, honor for those people.
Rule number 15, you are what you believe.
First day I went to school, I was in a classroom. By the time I was, 6 years old, didn't go to school until I was 6 years old because I was living with my grandmother at that time.
Sure.
But she had taught me how to read the Bible stories. So I went into the classroom knowing Nicodemus, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I could spell all of those words. I thought I was preaching to my kindergarten teacher. So she was like, who is this girl? So I was never placed in an environment where I was ever made to feel inferior. I always felt like I'm the smartest kid in this room. And because I was never placed never put in a position where I was made to feel less than, I didn't grow up feeling less than, you know?
And the rest, as they say, is history.
And the rest, they say, is history. And it's all about what you believe. You know, I say this to when I do something on my network now called Life Class. The fundamental key to success is what you believe is true for yourself. Not what you want, not what you desire. It's what do you believe? You know, you can say, I want to be the most successful person in the world. Yeah. But if you believe that there's a glass ceiling and you're going to have a hard time kicking through that glass ceiling, you will be defined by the glass ceiling. And the great beauty and gift of my life is that I was never defined by the box that other people tried to put me in.
No unity, no power. White power for white people. Black power for black people. 1967. The Black Panther Party. The movement. Freedom.
Let's talk about freedom. Freedom, freedom.
We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand.
Now this is time for free your mind and your soul. Yo, our story has never been told. Ladies, you got to demand what you want, and what we want is respect, right?
Come and take a walk with me. First a walk with me. See what only I can see.
Sisters, check this. Watch this.
Turn us loose, set us free from all the chains that bind me. Let us run in our own direction. Let us go, set us free from all this propaganda and lies that your people try to teach us. I know why you would like to bring us down, because we have all the deal on you. You try to tell us that our lives don't mean anything, but we know so much better, so we're gonna take up the freedom. Freedom for my mind, freedom for my spirit. All this time you've been telling us these lies, but now we finally figured out okay. All that we would never wise up, but we'll show the how black female can do. So you continue to keep us away, but no, we ain't going out like that. Oh no, no. All these lies and all this propaganda you want us to take, we're gonna take it. You gotta say, freedom from my body, freedom from my mind, freedom for my spirit, freedom for my body, freedom for my heart, my soul. I see the fear in your eyes, surprise your cover below. I know just who I am and what I wanna do. I can make you run, make you hide from all your ancestors' transgression that you hold inside. Sisters rising up and sing that our time is here. We're taking back what's been ours for years.
Let the
loving of a sister embrace you. Embrace them other guys.
All these lies and all this propaganda that you want us to say. We're gonna take out. Freedom from my mind. Freedom for my
Ready for Evolution, and welcome to another edition of Class in Session. Brother and friend, Brother Eric Trey Muhammad here, and feeling sort of Michigan-like, so shout out to Team Lansing there, Brother Greg McCases, Renee McKay, and the crew. All right, Darren, Connie, Dismute, hey. Just want to shout it all out. Listen, family. Thank you for the honor of you being here in such tremendous numbers today. Make the call. Today is the day. I want you to bring your list. I want you to bring your phone. I want you to bring your why, and let's get to it. So today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, today at 2 p.m. Eastern, we'll be on this Zoom platform. That is the ID and the passcode on the screen. We'll follow scripts. You'll hear more of the scripts from Mr. Dalco that he shared in the earlier portion regarding the launch. You're going to hear our main script, which you can see there at the bottom of the screen, which basically says, would you spend $150 one time to put yourself in position to make $200,000 in the next 6 months? And if that is a desire of yours, then all I need to tell you is let's go. You need to be on this stream with us, with our panel, with our teams. Oh, matter of fact, shout out to Team Believe. Team Believe, just throw your chat in the comments there. Just let them know that you believe. Let everybody know you believe. You know, now your team Believe is all of the teams in Wealth Builders Worldwide. So just believe. Now, one thing that Ricky Caldwell cited from Mr. Dalco, which is very true, you're going to run out of time before you run out of people. You know, it's absolutely, it's a no-brainer. You will run out of time before you run out of people. You know, it's just a fact. So you might as well utilize time to your best advantage. You know, we can do it. Utilize it to our best advantage. Okay, and take charge of our lives now while we have the time. Believe. So screenshot that. Make sure that you understand what time we're here. It is not the same 4 p.m. passcode or meeting ID. We're not doing the 4 p.m. today. However, in the 2 p.m., bring your new people as well, because they will get an intro into what this opportunity means, and they may have their own list. They may be ready by the time they're ready to take charge of the of calls and taking charge of their future. This is our opportunity, or rather, this is our contribution to give everybody that last push, or that first major push as a collective, because this is what's going to happen. When you, wait, let me help you see me. Not that I'm all that important to see, but look, when you make the commitment to make the call and lead by example, what it does for your supporters, your downline, the remaining teams, those who watch you cross lines from cross teams, we're all one team in Wealth Builders Worldwide, but we get a chance to see that not only how it's done, but it can be done. You know what's going to happen when you come and you bring your first liners and they bring their first liners? What's going to happen is that your business, the first day of launch, will explode. You'll have close to 4, if not 5 levels of income already coming to you if you follow this principle of exponential growth. I want us to be there. I want us to be in that number. I want us to represent those saints that go marching into wealth and prosperity. It is our time. It is our time. So let's do this. Let's believe. Join me at 4 today. I'm sorry. Excuse me. At 2 today. At 4 o'clock, I'll still be doing the thing. Join us. Join us today. You will not and cannot lose, and to be the wealth builder in this hour, in this day, you can't overstate it. I want to thank all of you on the YouTube platforms, helping to push and keep us fueled and keep us energized and keep us out here. Class in session is every Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern on the Eric Trey Muhammad YouTube channel, as well as Facebook pages when Facebook is kind. But YouTube is always our backup. So we join the YouTube channel by subscribing to Eric Trey Muhammad. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel. And then what I encourage everyone to do is the same thing I encourage when we're on the events platform, Wealth Builders Worldwide. We jump on our platform, we get on our platform, lock in, show our live support, and then share out all throughout our social media platforms to make sure that the communities that aren't there, but the communities that may scroll your timeline and see something later on for whatever reason in different time zones, wherever they live, they will know and feel your presence in the opportunity. Understood? So thank you. Jump on that YouTube channel, subscribe, like, share back out to your Facebook pages, your Instagram pages, your Twitter pages, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your Snapchat. Share to them all. Share to them all. Okay, and let your presence be felt in this great wealth building opportunity, because you and I represent the agents of change for billions of people around this world that are seeking a better way. All right, so class is always in session, 8 a.m. Monday through Saturday, sometimes Sunday. Now, www.goldrocks.info. I call it affectionately Planet Gold Rocks. This is where we keep everything crunk for wealth builders worldwide. Y'all take a screenshot of this. Okay. We're here with the power call today. Today is Tuesday. So today's power call will be conducted by Brother Kansu Hotep Atum. And then at 12 noon, yours truly, moi, that was my French, me, Brother Eric Trey Muhammad, I'll be there wide open. Wide open. I'm so geeked over the endorsement from Mr. Best yesterday and acknowledging the team of wealth builders as Team Believe. I can't tell you what that did to the core of my being. So, but maybe I'll have a way to express that energy at 12 noon. So 12 noon, right after Brother Kansu Hotep Atum, I will be on giving the live wealth building event. And you want to drive all your teams there. You want to drive all your teams there, not because I'm there, but because that is the system that they lean on. That system will grow you. That system will save you. It'll save you what? Time. It'll save you energy. Those things you can give back now to your families, to your loved ones, to yourself. Time, energy. It'll save you money. Yeah, because that's what we teach in Wealth Builders. So www.goldrocks.info. Thank you, Sister Cece. There's the password. You want to get on the platform and then share it out everywhere in social media, but you want to join the platform first. Join the platform. Shout out your team. Shout out your Y.O.Us. Shout out your Let's Go. Shout out your Believes, and let your presence be felt on our platforms every day of the week that we are on. Okay. And, of course, those two sisters can't have one without the other. There's the backup. Thank you, Sister Demawi. And let us believe. And I love reading Brother Reggie Scott every time I get a chance to see it. Blessings to you, brother. You're invited to today's power call on the new platform, 10:45 a.m. Eastern, 9:45 a.m. Central, 8:45 a.m. Mountain, and 7:45 a.m. Pacific. www.goldrocks.info. Man, oh, man. Reggie Scott, use is the man. All right. So let's keep it moving. And I want you to pay close attention to this and take a screenshot. I want you to take a screenshot as soon as I find it. The screen froze on me. Join the protocol to keep COVID-19 away. Call Brother Mustafa Muhammad, Sister Janetta Muhammad for details. Family, I showed you this opportunity to save yourselves, to preserve your health, so you're in shape to preserve your wealth. Several months ago, when the scourge of COVID-19 hit, we were already ahead of preventive measures. We were already ahead as a nation because of the work that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan commissioned Dr. Abdul Ali Muhammad, his then Minister of Health. He commissioned him to a fact-finding mission and trip to Kenya, Africa. And we found a protocol, and that protocol was initially unearthed because HIV and AIDS was rampant in the Black community, rampant in the world. And we brought this protocol back to the United States. And we went through our challenges, but we are the only documented healers of HIV AIDS in the entire United States. When Dr. Aleem introduced this protocol, then in 1995, you found the announcement as well as those who were healed on the stage and platform of the Million Man March in 1995. You can check it out there on the Capitol steps. And since then, there were other discoveries about this wonderful interferon. And it is something that restores the entire metabolism. It doesn't just prevent or serve as a prevention tool, but it restores your metabolism. Now, this is not a what do you call it? This is not an affiliate-based anything that I'm sharing with you. I'm just sharing with you what works for my family and me. I always share what I know to work. There are plenty of testimonials out here. There are plenty of people who are alive right now. There are people who literally in ICUs that some of us snuck it into them and they were able to get up and run. Now, they're still here with us today. Some are not. But family, you have nothing to lose by trying it. You can lose everything if you don't. Don't live in that wonderment. What if? Give them a call. Find out what this is about. Okay, they can tell you much better than I. Of course, I'm still doing jumping jacks and sprinting and running up and down. And, I'm excited over this. No one comes in my house without being on this protocol. Not a soul. Not a soul. You have to be on this protocol. You have to be masked. You have to have everything to shelter in place. So I'm only sharing that to say, and some of you wealth builders already know and have used it and shared it out to people. I appreciate your willingness to trust me. So trust me on this. You deserve the right to investigate those things that will shore up your health of yourself, your family, your future, so you can enjoy your blessings around the corner and allow future yous to enjoy. So I just want to make sure I got that out the way. And you'll hear more from them in future broadcasts. I don't know, maybe it's time for another Hard Fact Friday. But today I want you all to be with us at 2 o'clock Eastern, and let's make that call. Make that call. Bring your list, and let's do it together. We're going to be ringing bells and all kind of stuff. Sister Veronica and I talked a little bit yesterday. I mean, we're just straight up excited over this, folks. You want to be here because it is your time. Bring everybody you can that's with you in the opportunity. Even if those you're introducing to the opportunity, you can bring them. There'll be an element of it they'll be able to embrace. What can they embrace? Spending $150 one time and position themselves to make $200,000 in 6 months. I know I can embrace it. I know I have. Let's go. All right. Take a screenshot of this. You know where we are. This is the Tools of Salvation, Wealth Builders Worldwide. We are philosophy. We are culture. It is our time. We are the right people. We have been chosen. Now let's be that new you. The making of you. You, your own self, Y, your, O, own self, U, unlimited. Unlimited. Bring the power, feed the power. Peace and power. I'll see us all on the power call. Forward.
Oh, my people, I want you to understand and know the time. It's time that we are accepted and respected by both man and mankind. You know, the scripture says that God would choose those that are despised and rejected. And we have been that and cast aside. No one wanted us, and no one cared for us. And the worst thing about it, we never cared for ourselves. Oh, but brothers and sisters, it's time now that we fall in love with ourselves and with each other. This world has robbed us of a true guide, but it's time to unite and fight hard for unity. Brothers and sisters, we must live for each other and die for each other, because that's the only way that we're gonna know the meaning of what it is to be free. Then we'll conquer fear and wipe away all our tears. That's the benefit of our unity. Oh, my people, it is written that in the last days God would come after that sheep that was lost, and he has come today and he has given us Elijah, a man to show us the way out of the ditch of hell. So up, you mighty nation, you know you can accomplish anything that you will. So come on, let's rise again. Yes, let us build again. As our fathers built the pyramids and the Sphinx and all of the great ancient wonders, let's rise again and build as our fathers used to do. Come on, let's unite. Strive and strive with all our might. Oh, let's fight hard for unity. Brothers and sisters, we must learn to live for each other and die for each other, because that's the only way we're gonna know the joy of being free. We'll conquer fear. We'll conquer fear and wipe away all our tears. That's the benefit of our unity. Come on, black man, rise again. And build again. Unity. Rise again. The basis of unity is love. When we love each other, we come into unity with each other. And when we're in unity, we have the strength and the power to overcome all obstacles in the pathway of our freedom. Yes, brothers and sisters, this is the benefit of our unity.
So let's rise again.
Come on, black man, rise again. Brothers and sisters, come on, let's build again. Build unity.